What's going on, everyone? Mr. Octagonal here. Now, today we are back with the MLB The Show 19 rebuilds. Today, we are going to be rebuilding the Toronto Blue Jays. I know I've not been consistent with the rebuilds. I want to be consistent because these are actually really fun to record. So make sure to vote in the straw poll who we are going to do next. So this Blue Jays team is really not great. The only thing that's really interesting right now about them is VLADIMIR Guerrero Jr., and that's about it. Sorry, Blue Jays, you're just not exciting. At the moment, they do have a solid farm system, guys like Bo Bichetti. So let's take a look at this roster. Marcus Stroman, I like him, but he's a free agent and he's not that great. Aaron Sanchez could be a building block, but outside of that, not much of a starting rotation. Bullpen, maybe Tim Maeza, that's about it. Ken Giles, he's a really good player, 28-87, could look to build around him. Danny Jansen, a potential, he's a very solid catcher. Reese McGuire, also not bad. First base, Rowdy Tellez could be a guy for the future. Second base, Cavan Biggio. He is Craig Biggio's son, grandson, not entirely sure. Obviously, at third base, Vlad Jr., we are definitely building around him. No doubt about that. Shortstop, I also want to build around Bo Bichette and maybe Lourdes Gurriel Jr. Both of them are really solid players. I almost traded for Gurriel in the Diamondback series, but couldn't quite get a deal done. Left field is next, Teoscar Hernandez. Very high upside with him. Definitely someone we could look to build around. Kevin Pillar was actually traded to the Giants. These are the beginning of the year rosters, so we still have him technically. And then Randall Grichuk, okay player, but probably not someone for the long term. So this team really is not great at all. Definitely we have a lot of work to do with this team. So first things first, Marcus Stroman, Reese McGuire, and Billy McKinney are headed to the Padres for Franmil Reyes. Really solid corner outfielder. Can definitely hit the ball for contact, for power. He's having a really good year in real life with the Padres, so that's a nice pickup. And then Randall Grichuk, Sam Gavaggio, and Clayton Richard of the Rockies for German Marquez. Really good starting pitcher. Definitely going to be someone who we look to build around in the rotation. And then Ryan Baroque, Cavan Biggio, and Freddie Galvis to the Cardinals for Paul DeJong. Really talented shortstop. And then Kevin Pillar, Justin Smoke, and Devin Travis to the Marlins for Victor Mason, Gabby Guerrero. Just trying to get some young bats in the lineup. So here's a look at the team. We have some new building blocks and guys like Paul DeJong, Franmil Reyes. And we still have guys like VLADIMIR Guerrero Jr. and Teoscar Hernandez. German Marquez is now going to be the ace. And other than that, the pitching staff is not ideal. So, the season number 1 was a disaster, obviously. Dodgers get revenge on the Red Sox in the World Series. But we go 63-19. Paul DeJong, not great. Mason, not great. VLADIMIR Guerrero Jr., just unacceptable. Franmil Reyes was pretty good, but that's about it. Disappointing season from Teoscar Hernandez. Eric Sogard hit .310, but obviously he's not someone we're going to look to build around. And then the rotation, Marquez went off. 12-16 isn't great, but a 2.82 ERA, 1.17 WHIP. Definitely will take that. Aaron Sanchez was awful. That's definitely not someone you want to see from a player who we do want to build around. Ken Giles was solid. Tim Maeza was actually really good. So, all around, really ugly year for us. So, looking at free agency, my strategy is to get a bunch of free agents, backload all the contracts so we can get as many as possible. We're offering Chris Sale, Paul Goldschmidt, Starling Marte, Michael Wacha, Xander Bogaerts, Marcell Ozuna, Scooter Gennett. We're offering a lot of great players contracts here. We want to clear up some cap space. Victor Mesa is making like $5 million, so he will be going to the New York Mets. Just a salary cap deal. Those other players sort of even out, but I wanted to trade him because of his contract, even though he is a solid player. So Paul Goldschmidt accepts. Chris Sale accepts. That's a big steal from our division rival. Marcell Ozuna accepts his contract. That's also really good to see. Starling Marte accepts his deal. Xander Bogaerts accepts his. Very common theme here. Everyone actually accepted. Scooter Gennett, and then so did Michael Wacha. So, in the Rule 5 draft, we might as well just pick someone and trade him. So, that's what we're going to do with Christian Arroyo. And then same thing in round 2 with Tyler Beede. Don't plan on building around any of these guys. We're just going to look to flip them. And we could get Casey Mize, which I really want to do as a Tigers fan. However, we're going to go Sixto Sanchez from the Marlins. He's 3 years younger. There are some really tempting offers in here. Jordan Hicks from the Cardinals. But we're going to go Sixto Sanchez. And then Paul Goldschmidt and Scooter Gennett. We could have gotten Ozzie Albies, which was hard to pass up. We're going to go with Walker Buehler from the Dodgers, really good young pitcher. And then Starling Marte, Marcelo Zuna, and Sean Reed-Foley are headed to the Nationals for Juan Soto, phenomenal young outfielder, incredible bat. Wander Suero, really solid relief pitcher, and then a prospect. He was like 47 overall, but he did have A potential. And then I really like this deal. Jonathan Davis for Amir Garrett. Garrett is an A potential, 79 overall reliever. I think he was actually a basketball player in college as well, if I'm not mistaken. And then we are actually going to get Jordan Hicks after all, sending Michael Wacha back to the Cardinals along with some of our prospect, Thomas Pannone and Gabby Guerrero for Diego Castillo. We need some help in the bullpen, and Castillo is now in the Diamondback series, so that's pretty cool. And here's a look at the new lineup, adding guys like Xander Bogaerts, Juan Soto, and really that's about it for the lineup, surprisingly. And then the rotation is very different. Chris Sale and Walker Buehler are now in the rotation. Buehler. And then Amir Garrett, Diego Castillo, Wander Suero, and Jordan Hicks all enter the bullpen. So the pitching staff looks a lot different. So on to the MLB draft. I didn't show it last year. I'm only showing this because there was a starting pitcher named Luis Castillo. I find that kind of funny. If you guys don't know, Luis Castillo is a superstar pitcher for the Reds. We ended up drafting a really good catcher anyway, so it's fine. This trade made no sense to me. Blake Snell to the Padres for Franchy Cordero and Maury Wilson. Why would the Rays do that? I don't get that. So we win 96 games. Huge improvement, which is very good. And we are a wild card, I believe, as the Yankees are really good. Xander Bogaerts, great year. Brandon Drury, solid. Vladimir Guerrero Jr., not bad. Vlad obviously needs to start. Juan Soto, incredible. Framil Reyes, incredible. Paul DeJong, really good. Rowdy Tilley is not bad. Teoscar Hernandez, not great. Danny Jansen, not great. And pretty much the bottom of the lineup was really not good at all. Chris Sale, incredible year. He ended up winning MVP. Buehler was good. Marquez was pretty good. Aaron Sanchez was not, and I believe he is a free agent soon. Diego Castillo was good. Wander Suero wasn't too bad. Jordan Hicks, meh. Giles, meh. Tepera, not bad. So we're playing the Minnesota Twins in the wild card round. Twins beasting in real life. And will they be beasting in the game? And we win. Great. Taking on our divisional rival, the New York Yankees. This could go ugly as we're down 2-1. We need you to close it out, Sixto, and we lose 13-1. So we are eliminated. The Oakland Athletics beat the Dodgers of a World Series, so the Dodgers make it 4 years in a row and lose 3 times. So here's a look at free agency. Really good class. Obviously, the names that stand out are Jacob deGrom and Mookie Betts, but there are also some other names in there. So we want to clear up cap space. Ken Giles and Aaron Sanchez for Michael Russell, a pitching prospect from the Chicago Cubs. Just trying to clear out money. Those two combined for like $12 million. So we're going after Mookie Betts, Jacob deGrom, Blake Treinen, and Trevor Bauer. We get Treinen, who is the least of our priorities, but he's still a good player. We also get Mookie Betts, and then a big trade here. Need to clear up some cap space. Blake Treinen, Xander Bogaerts, and an outfield prospect for Jose Ramirez. It clears up about $12 million, and Jose Ramirez is a phenomenal player. So really solid deal for us. And then Paul DeJong. He was really good last year, but we need to clear up cap space. We're going to get Tristan McKenzie from the Marlins. Trevor Bauer accepts his deal. However, it's not looking good for Jacob deGrom. Yankees are offering him a lot. We just can't afford it. So, unfortunately, he would end up signing for the Yankees. Actually, for much cheaper than the original offer, which makes me really sad. But, oh well, Jacob deGrom is now a Yankee. And then Jordan Hicks, I don't know what happened, but I guess he was in free agency. So the Angels picked him up. That's pretty annoying. So I figured, why not get him back? Michael Russell, that pitcher we got from the Cubs, as well as a couple other throw-ins for Hicks. I really wanted him back. And then Mark Leiter Jr., Tim Meza, and Anthony Alford for Felipe Vasquez from the Pittsburgh Pirates. Need some more guys in the bullpen. Can't have too many. And then a big deal here. Lourdes Gurriel, Teoscar Hernandez, and Tristan McKenzie to the White Sox for Reynaldo Lopez, really good starting pitcher, a really good reliever, and then Nicky Delmonico, who's a good bench bat. We need one more guy in the rotation to replace Aaron Sanchez. So here's a new look at the team. Very, very solid unit, of course, adding guys like Mookie Betts and Jose Ramirez. And then Reynaldo Lopez as an addition to the rotation. That 5-some is scary. and the bullpen is also really solid. So this team should definitely go a long distance this year in the postseason. 102 wins, very solid, but we lose in the wild card round against the A's. Dodgers make it for a 5th straight year and beat the Indians. So we'll take a look at the season stats. Mookie Betts hit .343, really solid. Bo Bichette, not bad. Juan Soto, really good. Jose Ramirez, very good. Franmil Reyes, he played like half the season because the game put him in AAA for whatever reason. Same with Vlad Guerrero Jr. He barely played, which is annoying. Domenico, not great. Danny Jensen, meh. And Brendan Drury is actually really good. And then pitching rotation, Chris Sale, another dominant year. Buehler, not bad. Trevor Bauer could have been better. Marquez, pretty good. Reynaldo Lopez, really solid. Amir Garrett was good. Biagini, nah. Overall, outside of Garrett, no one in the bullpen really stood out, per se, in a positive way. So, now on to free agency. This is a stacked class, but there are 2 names that really stand out to me, Francisco Lindor and Noah Syndergaard. We're also offering Freddie Freeman. We want Felipe Vasquez back, and then Carlos Correa is also going to be getting a deal. So we ended up signing Freddie Freeman, but he's not my main priority. So I decided to trade him. He's going to my Detroit Tigers for Franklin Perez and Thad Tabor. We need to clear up cap space, and Franklin Perez is a channel legend. So Noah Syndergaard accepts his contract. We are adding him to our already stacked rotation. Need to clear up some cap space to get Lindor. So Trevor Bauer and some other guys are going to the Angels for Shohei Ohtani. And we do end up getting Francisco Lindor on a 15-year contract. So this lineup is absolutely filthy. Mookie Betts, Francisco Lindor, Juan Soto, and Jose Ramirez are the top 4. And then the pitching rotation is so good that Reynaldo Lopez isn't even a starter. He is a long reliever. This team is so good. If we don't win a World Series, that is an embarrassment. We end up winning 105 games, which is really solid. Mookie Betts, not bad. Bo Bichette, pretty good. Juan Soto, very good. Same with Jose Ramirez and Francisco Lindor. Franmil Reyes, pretty good. Vladimir Guerrero Jr., once again, barely played. This game hates him. Nicky Delmonico, not great. And Brandon Drury. Or I think that's the catcher. My bad. Not Drury. So Nick Franklin here got 483 at bat somehow. I don't know who he is. So that's annoying. Chris Sale, never really good year. Buehler, good. Syndergaard, nah. And then Marquez and Ohtani really were not great. So for postseason, we decided to replace Ohtani with Reynaldo Lopez. Lopez was really solid as for a long reliever. And Shohei Ohtani wasn't really cutting it. Bullpen was pretty good, so that's solid. So in the first round, we'll be playing the Cleveland Indians. We stole numerous players from them, but it's not going to matter as the Indians eliminate us. So that's going to end the video. I know we didn't win a single playoff series, which is embarrassing, but there's not really much more I can do with this team. We're pretty much broke. So I don't know what else to do in this scenario. This team was so stacked. How it didn't win a championship, I don't know. Make sure to vote for the next MLB rebuild in the straw poll below, and have a great day.
I'm a Barbie girl in the Barbie world. Laughing plastic, it's fantastic. You can brush my hair, undress me everywhere. Imagination, life is your creation.
Yo, hey, man!